What caused the MCM to fail? Well, today I think I got an answer to that question, which may or not have answered this question, and possibly have some more lore. Hello, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Bullet Springtrap. I watched 7 hours of The Seeker of the Mimic and gathered up all that I needed for this theory. So here are some key points that you will need to know to fully understand this theory. Murray's Costume Manor was a business which made costumes and sold inventions by Edwin Murray. His wife Fiona died and later on his son David died. This caused him to break the mimic with rage, and if you read the books, you already know what happens next. Now, what actually caused the MCM to fail? Well, using my most recent videos, I could confirm that firstly, this is a family business, which is why Edward Murray is the rightful owner in the first place. Now, answering the question is rather simply everyone ever involved within the MCM died probably brutal causes due to the mimic. This applies to everyone but Edwin, Fiona, and their son David. And all of them probably died, including Edwin. Probably not of brutal causes though. This is because Tales Games is far from confirmed and in fact is debunked by the game. Finally, settling the question if the books are canon, which they aren't. Now this affects a lot of my theories, but let's actually focus on to now why there's another answer to what this caused this business to crash. And it is that it went bankrupt, rather simply bankruptcy. But anyone could just say that, so is there any evidence behind this? Yes, there is evidence, and there are two pieces of evidence. Firstly, we could see bodies in the mascot suits. Now I know that these probably are Fazbear Entertainment employees, but hear me out here. We only see one Fazbear Entertainment van parked, which means there could only be around 3 employees dead, which we see way more people that are stuffed into the animatronics, and that could be the excess of people, the employees. This also perfectly ties with the admin logs or simply just mail we receive around the area. These emails also talk about how some of the employees have gone missing. But here's the weird part. Only a few employees are fired or quit, and there are still at least 10 employees that are still in the company. Which means only one thing. They were killed by the mimic. For the second answer I gave, in which the MCM went bankrupt, is that only bumper car we are in to travel to the house, Mr. Helpful says there is zero productivity and that MCM is being sued 22 times. This will inevitably mean that the MCM is practically bankrupt. Also, in the mail logs, we find out that this factory is basically being evicted and the facility is closed, although at the first start of the game, evidence says it's only a temporary closure, which probably won't be the case with the information I told you. Which means that this business was a failure, or I should say, one which ended in one. But when did this all happen? Well, using the mail logs we can also find this out. In December, David died. Simply. Which means David died right before his 5th birthday, unfortunately. Which probably means that either in late 1978 or 1979 is the death date of these employees. This also fits rather perfectly as we don't see any messages after December. But Mr. Helpful, when we are going to the Queen's Anne's house, said that the project of Fast Entertainment is still happening and the products are still being bought or returned. So it is possible we could push the few date a few months, but we may never as well know the true date. Maybe if there is a DLC or something like that. Now, as I end the video, I just want to say this week and probably the next will be the Seeker of the Mimic week, with me making all sorts of theories about the game. So if you want to see those, like and subscribe, or just subscribe. That's anyways better. But anyways, let's end this tragic video with a happy cause, which is that this game has crushed all of our expectations and will practically crush the timeline as a whole. So I might be making a video on how this changes the timeline. Stay tuned and goodbye.